What is going on, everybody? Shonen Rona here, back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 4 random manga that I picked up. Well, technically my wife picked up, but I'm finally talking about it. As you all know, we went to Barnes & Noble. I had her go choose 4 manga. She doesn't know anything about manga outside of like very popular anime. 4 random manga. Her decision was to decide if I would love it, hate it, whatever. It doesn't matter. Choose 4 random manga and I will read them. And I actually finished these a while ago, but I'm just now getting to the video. And I had this whole like concept plan, but I drug out the video way too long. And it just wouldn't make any sense because every day like my creative thought process would change. So we're just gonna go ahead and do it this way. I probably shouldn't be standing. I hurt my ankle this past weekend, and it's been giving me problems for like a few days. And I don't know. I didn't know how long it was going to take for me to heal. Like I said, I probably should not be standing on it, but big dog, you know what I mean? I'm going to stand on it for you guys. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video and get into the manga. The first one I'm going to choose is A Reincarnated Witch Spells Doom. However, I have to go over there because it's over there, so I got to go get it. I'm gonna go grab it now. For A Reincarnated Witch Spells Doom, the manga's by Sora. The original story is by Teo Yuzuhara. And essentially what it's about is this witch who has been reincarnated. She was an 18-year-old girl, and on her 18th birthday, she got like hit by a car. And then like at the beginning, it's like, she just says something like, I wish something would explode and then I would perish. And then of course that ends up being her 2 spells that she can use. Because that's her whole thing, is that she's a witch in this new world, but she only has 2 spells: perish and explode. And it's like a little too on the nose at the beginning, and I can honestly say this is probably my least favorite out of the 4 I read. Sorry, I don't know if that's a spoiler, but either way, it's my least favorite out of the 4 I read, just because it didn't feel like it really had that oomph behind it. There was nothing in here to make me really want to read the rest of the series. I kind of want to know what happens at the end, but I don't want to take the journey to get there. Yeah, so she is reincarnated in this other world as a witch with those 2 spells. Eventually her mother passes away, and so she's living on her own. One day she finds a prince, actually a boy, I should say. She finds a boy laying down out there in the wilderness. So she brings him home. As he rests, he wakes up and he like cooks her food, and then she starts, you can already tell there's like a little connection there. But then she finds out he's a prince because his guards come and look for him. And in this moment, like they share some like sentiment moments where you can feel that little connection kind of being built. While obvious, it's not like it didn't really draw me in, because it feels like as though that's like a side thing. It's not really the main point of the story. What I did like is the prince aspect. Actually, I really could care less about Cena. That's the name of the witch. I could really care less about her, honestly, just because of the fact that there's not really much to her. I think like I know everything I need to know. You know what I mean? She's missing her mom. She only has 2 spells, and there's nothing more to like attach me to her to really make me care. Now with the prince, I feel as though there's already a lot of stuff. Like, one, this is a caring guy, you know, already it's like, okay, I can see he's a nice dude. 2, he has his dad honestly just wants him to fail, and it comes to find out like his dad, the prince is his dad's 6th illegitimate son. Insane. So it seems as though that's kind of why he wants him to fail. So it's like you want to take a part into that, and by fail, like there's this dragon coming, his dad wants him to slay it, and everybody's like, you know, he'll die, and he's kind of like, I don't care. That part is interesting to me. That's why I kind of want to know like what happens at the end, but not necessarily for the main character. I feel like the main character is a little weak. There are some interesting parts though, I will say. Simply just how like his staff is treating her. Like they're treating her very well, and almost as if like she's kind of one of them, not one of the staff, but like just part of the kingdom. But also one very interesting part was, and I don't want to ruin the whole story, but here we are. One very interesting part was, and they didn't really talk about this as much as I would like, but her mom left a note with these people in the village, in the kingdom, and they found out, you know, Cena was still around and whatnot, so they were like, oh, here you go, take this note, it's from your mother. She reads the note, and it's her mother just saying like, these people will take care of you, this, that, and the other. But it just seemed like they just wanted to use her. Really early on, she felt as though she owed them because they kept that promise to her mother. She was like, oh, I owe them, you know, my mom said they were going to look out for me. And then it's kind of just like they were already like, oh, well, you can do these chores. You can do these chores. You can do like off rip. This was like in the first 10 minutes of them seeing her for the first time in years. And that's something I wish they would expand it upon, because it's not really that central to the manga. They kind of just come and go as, as soon as they start to really order her around, the prince comes and says, hey, we got to go on a mission. I want you to come with me. And then it kind of just ends there. There is some other stuff that happened that I have not mentioned. So if you want to check it out, check it out. There's some cool artwork in here. I do like it has comedic moments. There's a lot of things to like, but it's not enough to make me stop what I'm reading to read this. Like I said, I can hear stuff and then maybe I can tap back into the series, but as far as this first volume, there's not really enough for me to continue. So this is probably, like I said, my least favorite of the four I read. Another manga I read during this challenge is The Witch and the Beast by Koyosuke Satake, I believe. Koyosuke Sake. I probably am butchering that, but either way, Witch and the Beast, this is one I actually really enjoyed. You get these two characters. You get Godot and what is the other guy's name? Ashaf. And I'm probably pronouncing his name. I'm actually pronouncing everyone's name wrong, to be completely real with you. But you get these two people. One's a witch. One's been cursed by a witch. Oh, now that I think about it, she chose two witches too. I knew about the two isekai, but I just now put together two witches. Either way, Godot's a witch, and Asaf is, I guess, the beast. I don't know. I don't really know what he does. He can kind of do spell casts and stuff too. But this one is very interesting, just because it almost has like this Baroque period. I don't know if you're familiar with and I only know it from music theory. I don't know about it from any other aspect. So I don't know if this is an actual historical time period. But it's almost like from that Baroque, almost like Eastern European. I don't know. It feels kind of like that. It just has this style to it, and this feeling to it that I like. I really enjoy. But they are a part of this magical guild or whatever that handles music. They have a saying that Ashaf says over and over again, but I forgot it. Either way, it starts off with our two characters into the city, and the whole point of the manga is that Godot is kind of looking for the witch that cursed her, because that's the only way you can remove the mark, is by getting the witch to forgive you or kissing a prince of something. And she knows she's not going to kiss a prince, so she's like, I'm better off having a witch kind of relieve the spell from me. So they're going around looking, and anytime they hear of a witch, they go and hoping it's the witch that cursed Godot, so they can get rid of the spell. And they come to find out that this witch is not the right witch. However, she has all these people tricked, because they're telling her look, you cannot trust a witch. I'm a witch. You cannot trust a witch. You don't like me. You definitely shouldn't like her. And Godot is very hard-headed. She's the Naruto of it all. She's just, I'm gonna run in there and we'll figure the rest out later. That's kind of her approach. And Ashaf's more sit back and play it cool. He's the one that talks to people and whatnot. But Godot just goes in there, accuses the witch of bad things. And Ashaf's look, Godot's crazy. I'm sorry, but she's right. You cannot trust a witch. And they're oh, but she saved us. She saved us. And then, stuff happens. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but stuff happens. Really, really interesting from the get-go. That's one thing I really enjoyed about this manga, is just that it was just really interesting from the start. It was interesting from the artwork. It was interesting from the story that we're telling. I can already feel for the characters, not necessarily feel bad for them or anyway, but I feel as though I want to know kind of more of their purpose and more of what they're doing, unlike I did with Reincarnated Witch Spells Doom. It just felt like these characters were of substance, and I really enjoyed it. Even Asaf, who's quite frankly mysterious. He's very mysterious, but just his demeanor and everything about him just makes him a likable character, and it makes you just want to stick with him and go through the journey, because this is a ultimate pairing. Last things I'll say is just for Witch and the Beast, I'd highly suggest you picking this up. I do know that the mangaka has some health issues, and there's only 10 volumes, and I believe there's an anime out for it. Part of me is just weird in this weird situation where I don't know if I should pick up the other 9 volumes and read it, knowing that I may not ever get it in, but I do want to support the manga. Obviously, health issues are scary, so maybe you would, do something nice by picking up the rest of the 9, because I enjoy the series. Maybe pick it up one by one until I don't enjoy it anymore. I don't know. This next manga, it introduces the bad man himself. It's by Ki Urana Kachiakuta. This story right here is by far one of my, I think if you watch my manga awards, it won I don't remember the title I had for it, but it definitely was Rookie of the Year or something like that. And that's an award for manga I had no idea about. I just randomly got it and read it. Really, really enjoyed it. If you're not familiar with Gachiakuta, it has an anime coming out. It's about this guy named Rudo, who essentially his power is like he can handle trash, which you find out later, but in the manga. This is all volume 1. I have the other 2 volumes that I need to read. 3 volumes? I have the other 2 volumes, so I need to read those as well. But his power is essentially that he can control trash and manipulate trash in like a magical way. It's pretty cool. But either way, it starts off with him just kind of being outcasted and by the outcast. So there's obviously like 2 sides of this world here, where you have like I don't want to say it like this, but I don't remember the actual name they may have given this side, but you have the normal people, and then you have like the not so normal people. I don't know. There's outcasts, and there's like the normal civilization. And he is the one, he's trying to break into the normal civilization and steal the trash. That's literally how it starts off. And you can already tell that like there's this dynamic where you have people who you treat as outcasts who may have lesser, but they value your trash. And what I like about this manga is that it has themes in here that from the get-go, they're like in your face, but they're not over the top. They're not obnoxious, but you can tell what's going on. And I feel as though in society, we really do have things like this going on, just not in this like fantastical format. So just being able to implement that through this manga where there's a lot of action still, I think the artwork in here is fantastic. It fits the story to a T. There's already, in the first volume, there's already some good moments, some sad moments, some uplifting moments, some funny moments. Rudo is a funny guy, but also he's just a very well-determined, and you can already tell this is a vengeance story. And there's just so much to like about this manga. So I highly suggest you check it out. You're going to enjoy the different themes in there. You're going to enjoy the story of Rudo and just everything he has already endured in such a short time in reading the first volume. You're going to enjoy how he interacts with every single character. There's characters that pull out different sides of him, so you can tell he's just a young boy who's just trying to figure it all out. And unfortunately, he has to go through certain events that make him maybe grow up a little faster, but that's just the beauty of this story. I highly suggest you check this out. Easily like surprise manga of the year for me last year, and I can't wait to read more. We have yet another heavy hitter. That time I was reincarnated as a slime. My wife picked this up because she thought it was ridiculous. She thought the title was ridiculous. This is a manga I would have never ever picked up. I never would have picked it up. Not because I would have thought it was bad, just because I would have thought I wouldn't have enjoyed it. However, here we are, me, you, you're watching this video, I'm talking to you. This manga is so surprisingly good. The original story is created by Fuse. It is a light novel, I believe, and the manga is by Taiki Kawakami. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this manga has everything. It has action. It's super funny. It's super intuitive. Like, I don't know. I really enjoyed this. One, it was an isekai, so I didn't think I was gonna like it. 2, it's about a slime. What all can a slime can do? Apparently everything. This manga is just so good. Like how I was talking about Gachi Akuta, where it's just like you're seeing the character interact with different types of people and you're getting out different personalities. It's not necessarily that in terms of how our main character, which is this slime, I forgot his name. I'm looking. Rimuru Tempest. That's the name he decided to choose. It's not how Rimuru, he doesn't act, it's not like you get different sides of him. It's just him trying to figure out this world. But then he does figure it out. And some of the stuff is just the funniest stuff in the world. It almost seems like he's like too smart for the world, but you got to understand he's in a world of beasts and dwarves and elves and all these things. And it's just like, he's not really that smart. So it's just like the tiniest thing ends up having like the greatest outcome ever just because of how he's just able to put 2 and 2 together. And it's just great. And his power, like, it's just something I would have never thought of. I like the magic system in it as far as just his power. We don't know about everybody else's, but just his power alone is just incredible. And it's an incredible read. It's hilarious. Like, I think like every couple of pages, I am dying laughing. And then there's just moments where it's just like, wow, that was just really insightful. That was really intuitive of just how like, oh wow, I would have never thought like a manga like this would have just put something together like that, like a storyline like that, or just a small concept like that. Like, no, this manga truly, truly, truly is something I suggest you read. I highly, highly recommend it. What I do like also is that in this volume, I don't know about the other volumes, but I do have volume 2 somewhere. Because I had to get it. Like this and Gachikuta, I went and got the next volume immediately. But what I like about this is that it does have like mangaka notes, or actually it has author notes, because it has notes from Fuse, the guy who created the original light novel, and it's just talking about like the process of basically making the manga, and how there were parts where it's talking about, pure darkness being in the cave, and then how, the mangaka was able to kind of take that idea and how would that look in a drawn format, and how it was seamless. Like I would have never even thought that was an issue, but that's what the Fuse, the creator of the light novel, said, was that there was a lot of things that he thought would be an issue, not necessarily because it was bad, but just like the translation of media, how it's going from, words to picture. But Manga did a fantastic job of telling the story. And even, I feel like in some places, even, expanded it and highlighted it even more than maybe the light novel. And that's coming from the creator of the light novel, not from me. But just hearing him, I can say, oh, okay, I can see that. So yeah, I highly suggest this. You're going to laugh, you're going to be intrigued, and you're going to want more. And that does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed these manga. Let me know if there's some more manga you want me to do this for. This time, like I said, I had my wife choose these manga. Maybe next time I'll have you guys choose the manga. Maybe you can do it in a Discord, so go ahead and click that Discord link down below. And there's a lot of things I want to do with that Discord. So the more people that can join, the more that can help me kind of frame out what I want to do. I definitely want to do like watch parties and just a lot of good things in there. So if you want to check it out, then go ahead and join the Discord down using the link in the description box below. Once again, thank you so much, and as always, thank you for watching 1 second of one video. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.